Have you ever wondered where the tradition of Christmas trees originated? Today, we're delving into the rich tapestry of history to unearth the roots of this festive practice. The tradition of decorating Christmas trees is indeed centuries old and has evolved significantly over time. From humble beginnings to global phenomenon, it's a story as captivating as the twinkling lights adorning the trees themselves. So, buckle up as we take a journey back in time to explore the roots of this beloved holiday tradition. Our story begins in the ancient times, long before the birth of Christ. Evergreen plants and trees have always had a special place in the winter celebrations of many cultures. Their resilience, remaining green and vibrant in the face of harsh winter conditions, symbolized life and hope in the midst of the cold, barren winter months. Let's journey back to ancient Rome, where citizens celebrated the winter solstice with a festival called Saturnalia. During this time, Romans decorated their homes and temples with evergreen boughs, a symbol of their god Saturn's agricultural domain. This tradition echoed the belief that spring, a time of growth and renewal, would return once again. Simultaneously, far north in the Celtic regions, Druid priests revered evergreens. During their winter solstice rituals, they used holly and mistletoe, both evergreen plants, as symbols of eternal life. They believed these plants would help them overcome the darkness of winter and bring about the resurgence of spring. And let's not forget the formidable Vikings of Scandinavia. For them, the evergreen trees were sacred symbols of their god Balder, who was the god of light and goodness. During the winter solstice, they too would bring evergreens into their homes, hopeful for the return of longer, sunnier days. These ancient traditions, spanning across different cultures and geographies, all centered around the use of evergreen plants and trees during winter solstice celebrations. They were symbols of life, hope, and the enduring promise of spring's return. Even though they were not adorned with twinkling lights or shiny ornaments like our modern Christmas trees, they held a special significance in their respective cultures. While these aren't Christmas trees as we know them today, they certainly planted the seeds for the tradition. They marked the beginning, the early roots of what would eventually flourish into the beloved Christmas tree tradition that we all know and celebrate today. Fast forward to the Middle Ages. The concept of a tree used in a winter celebration takes on a new form. Now, we find ourselves in the heart of medieval Germany, where mystery plays were a popular form of entertainment. One of the most significant plays performed on December 24th was the Paradise Play. The Paradise Play depicted the story of Adam and Eve, their sin, and their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. The play had a central prop, a tree which was referred to as the Paradise Tree. The tree was decorated with apples to symbolize the forbidden fruit and wafers to represent the redemption through Christ. This tree was not just a prop, it was a symbol, a visual sermon that conveyed the story of humanity's first sin and the promise of salvation. It was a beacon of hope and a reminder of redemption, and it was here at the heart of the community's winter celebration. As the centuries rolled on, the Paradise Tree found its place in homes across Germany. The apples became red balls and the wafers turned into cookies. Some even added candles to represent the light of Christ. This tree was no longer just a part of a play. It had become a part of the family's home, a part of their Christmas celebration. In a time when many couldn't read or write, this tree told a story. It was a visual narrative of faith, hope, and redemption. It was a symbol that brought the community together, a symbol that brought joy and celebration into the heart of winter. This German tradition was an important stepping stone toward the Christmas tree as we know it. It took the concept of a tree in winter celebration from a communal square to the heart of the family home. It added a layer of significance and symbolism that still resonates with us today. So the next time you decorate your Christmas tree, remember the Paradise Tree. Remember the story it told, the hope it represented, and the joy it brought. This German tradition was an important stepping stone towards the Christmas tree as we know it. Now let's move to the 16th century when the first Christmas trees, as we would recognize them, started to appear. In the heart of Europe, in Germany to be precise, the earliest records of decorated evergreen trees used at Christmas time began to emerge. This tradition was not just a random act, but a symbolic gesture. The evergreen trees, which stayed green throughout the year, symbolized eternal life. The Germans, in their characteristic way, added a touch of sparkle to this tradition. The trees were adorned with a variety of decorations. Apples and nuts were common, symbolizing the bounty of nature. Paper roses, a symbol of beauty and love, added a pop of color. And then there were the sweets, a treat for the kids, and a symbol of the sweetness of life. But what really set these trees apart, what made them truly Christmas trees, was the addition of light. And for that, we have to thank none other than Martin Luther, the 16th century Protestant reformer. As the story goes, one crisp Christmas Eve, Martin Luther was so moved by the beauty of the starlit sky that he wanted to replicate the scene for his family. He cut down a fir tree, brought it home, and placed candles on its branches. These flickering lights, he explained to his children, represented the stars that shone over Bethlehem on the night of Christ's birth. This tradition of adding candles to the trees quickly caught on. It was not just about the aesthetic appeal, but the deeper spiritual symbolism. The light breaking through the darkness, the hope that Christ's birth brought to the world, was now represented in the homes of the faithful. And so, from these humble beginnings, in the homes of 16th century Germany, the tradition started to spread. The Christmas tree, as we know it, was born. It was a symbol of life, of hope, and of celebration. It became a centerpiece of the festive season, a tradition that continues to this day. From these humble beginnings, the tradition started to spread. In the 19th century, the Christmas tree tradition started to cross borders. A time of exploration and expansion, the 19th century saw many cultural practices and traditions spread far and wide, and the Christmas tree was no exception. Our story takes us first to Britain, where the Christmas tree was initially seen as a peculiar German custom. The turning point came with a sketch of Queen Victoria and her German prince, Albert, standing with their children around a Christmas tree. Published in the Illustrated London News in 1848, the sketch captured the imagination of the British public. The royal endorsement made the Christmas tree suddenly fashionable, and it wasn't long before homes across Britain had a tree bedecked with candles, sweets, and handmade decorations gracing their parlors during the festive season. But the Christmas tree didn't stop there. It was eager to see the world, and its next stop was America. Here, the tradition was met with initial resistance, primarily due to lingering anti-British sentiment from the Revolutionary War. However, like in Britain, it was an image that swayed the public. A replication of the royal Christmas tree sketch, adapted for an American audience, appeared in Godey's Lady's Book in 1850. The tree was stripped of its royal ornaments, presenting a more humble, family-centered image. The American public was captivated, and the Christmas tree tradition took root. From there, the Christmas tree continued to travel, reaching the far corners of the globe. It was adapted and embraced by many cultures, each adding their unique twist. In Australia, trees were decorated with seashells, while in India, mango and banana trees were adorned with Christmas decorations. By the early 20th century, the Christmas tree had become a staple in homes around the world. From its humble beginnings in Germany, the Christmas tree had embarked on a global journey, spreading joy and festive spirit wherever it went. And so, the tradition continues. The Christmas tree standing tall as a symbol of unity and celebration during the holiday season. Today, the Christmas tree is an integral part of our holiday celebrations. As we journey into the 20th and 21st centuries, the Christmas tree has continued to evolve and adapt to the changing times. It was during the mid-20th century that the artificial Christmas tree made its debut. Initially, these imitations were made from brush bristles, resembling bottle brushes more than trees. However, over time, the look of artificial trees has improved dramatically, and they've become a popular choice for many, offering convenience and longevity. But the evolution of the Christmas tree isn't just about its form, it's also about its decoration. A far cry from the simple apples and nuts of the Middle Ages. Today's trees are adorned with an array of ornaments that reflect our individual tastes and the spirit of the times. From traditional baubles and tinsel to personalized ornaments and twinkling lights, each tree tells its unique story. Moreover, the Christmas tree has become a canvas for creativity and personal expression. Some prefer a color-coordinated aesthetic, while others opt for a more eclectic mix of decorations. We've even seen theme trees decked out in the colors of a favorite sports team or homage to a beloved movie or book series. From ancient solstice celebrations to modern holiday festivities, the Christmas tree has truly stood the test of time. So, there you have it, the history of the Christmas tree in a nutshell. We've journeyed through time from the tree's simple early beginnings to the sacred paradise tree of the Middle Ages. We've seen the birth of the first Christmas trees, watched as the tradition spread across the globe, and marveled at the transformation into the modern twinkling trees we know today. Next time you gather around a Christmas tree, remember the rich history behind this beloved tradition.